Good evening, and welcome along to another big show here on NVTV. Thank you for joining us. Hope we find you well this evening.
Coming up on the show, we have Joe Ferguson in Tenerife. We also have some live music from the archives from Don't Fear the Natives and the late great Bap Kennedy.
But starting things off, we're talking holidays this evening, and Ryan Pearson is the Regional Manager with Booking.com, and he joins us now on the line. Ryan, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you too?
Very well, thank you. So Ryan, 2020, I suppose, will be remembered as the year of the staycation, won't it?
That's correct. Yeah, we definitely see that in the research that we've done. People sticking to local areas rather than going abroad. And 46% of people have said that they're going to spend time to explore the natural beauty of their home country. So it's definitely something I identify with. The first break that I took after lockdown was a week spent close to where I was born and where I grew up. I think it's the travel equivalent of comfort food. It's about traveling somewhere you've already been previously, just for its familiarity.
And here in Northern Ireland, we've been travelling around places that we haven't been to, but I'm sure like a lot of people, we're thinking about getting back to those foreign holidays and looking ahead to 2021. So what's going to be the top trends for next year?
Well, I think the trend in general is that the desire to travel is as strong as ever. So we see that 95% of people are spending time looking for holiday inspiration, even with the current precautions. And 42% of people have said that they're going to travel more than they did before COVID to make up for lost time. So speaking to friends and family, they know where they're going. They've got ideas for the next 3 to 4 holidays in advance. They're just waiting for the green light. And in the research, a third of travellers intend to travel when they can, as and when they can, to celebrate an occasion that they've missed this year, whether it's a wedding or a birthday. So they're determined that the celebration will take place and that they're determined to travel. So the main positive thing that we see in the research is that people have that desire, they understand the benefits of travel, and so they definitely want to get back out there as and when they can.
Now, I'm sure there are some people watching this still worried about what's going to happen in 2021. We still don't really know where we are. What happens if you go on a foreign holiday and another lockdown situation happens once again?
Yeah, I mean, I would say first and foremost, make sure that you adhere to government guidelines. Those are obviously changing all the time. So make sure that you keep up to date. There are links to those websites on our platform. We encourage our guests to make flexible bookings. So in case they need to cancel, in case they need to reschedule, make sure that you're making a flexible booking going forward, and make sure that you've got insurance as well. Make sure that you're insured for any eventuality, including coronavirus.
And a lot of people as well are worried about the plane journey. Now, we've booked a holiday to Tenerife at the beginning of December, and wearing the mask on the plane the whole time, not really the most comfortable way to travel, is it?
No, I think we definitely see that in the research, that people are very much about precautions. 80% of people say that they're going to take more precautions when they make a booking going forward. And 70% of people will only book a particular accommodation if it's clear what health and hygiene policies are in place. So, for example, if you're staying in a hotel, you might want to make sure that they've got contactless check-in. If you're staying in a holiday home, you might want to make sure that you can have your food delivered there from the local supermarket. So the one thing that we've done is we've made a cleaning advisory toolkit available to our accommodation partners, so they can show all those little details in terms of their services and policies to guests in advance of their booking, so that the guest knows exactly what they're getting and what services are on offer and what precautions are being taken place.
So just going back to booking holidays, we've booked a few holidays that have actually been cancelled, and lucky for us, we have actually gone through a reputable travel agent. Would that be your advice, going through a reputable agent?
Yes, absolutely. I think our Our aim is always to support both guests and our accommodation partners. And when we went into lockdown, our advice and what we encouraged our accommodation partners to do very strongly was make sure that they gave guests refunds for the bookings that they made if they were unable to fulfill them. I think what's majorly changed a little bit since, because we're all aware of restrictions and we're all aware of the risks, is the reason why we give the advice now to customer to make sure that you're booking a flexible booking, so that the power is in your own hands, if you like. If you cannot travel, then your booking says that you have the right to cancel at no charge.
So is now a good time to be looking ahead to next year? Are there any bargains to be had?
Yeah, I think there are bargains, and definitely in the research we can see that that's as always important for our guests, but it's increasingly more important with the financial legacy that coronavirus is going to leave. So 62% of people say that they're far more conscious with their travel plans going forward. I think that goes maybe beyond the price tag. It's also about the transparency in terms of those cancellation policies that we were talking about, and also about the services that are on offer in terms of maybe safety, but also in terms of sustainability. So 50% consider a refundable accommodation an absolute must-have for the next trip. And then if I move on to another trend, which we've called impact awakening, and this period has made people even more conscious about the environment, and as a result, they're going to look to travel more sustainably. So we see that demand for that kind of information from accommodations to understand, for example, whether a hotel is still using single-use toiletries or whether they've got vehicle charging points for electric cars. That's the kind of detail that the guests want. That's what they're going to demand going forward. So I think it's up to ourselves to make sure that that information is visible from our accommodation partners, and for our accommodation partners to move in that direction and provide that kind of information and those kind of services.
And just coming back to staycations, more hotels and accommodation are now welcoming family pets along as well. And you can bring your dog on holiday now as well, can't you?
Yes, definitely. I think in our travel trends last year, over 50% of people said that it was more important for them to know that they could take their pet rather than their family. that was already here before coronavirus, and I think it's as strong as ever. So definitely there's been that kind of demand on accommodations to provide pet-friendly accommodations, but I think it goes further than that. It's about whether there's dog baths and blankets and places for them to run about. So I think definitely the demands on accommodations and whether it's sustainability, pets, or whether it's safety, that's what we see in the travel trends going forward.
So Ryan, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us on The Big Show this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure.
Let's have some live music from the archives. Here is Don't Fear the Natives.
Face to face, it's gonna happen. Here it comes, you gotta give something. This tide will turn, let the fires burn out slowly. Here it comes, you gotta give something. Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way? Just one word and this could be heaven. Close your eyes and take yourself somewhere. This tide will turn, let the fires burn out slowly. Close your eyes and take yourself somewhere. looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way? Hold my hand, we're in this together. Ride this wave, whatever the weather. This tide will turn, let the fires burn out slowly. Ride this wave, whatever the weather. Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way? Looking forward, looking back. How does it feel to be this way?
And that was great live music from Don't Fear the Natives. But some more live music coming up on the show with the late, great Bap Kennedy.
Before that, I think we can go live to Tenerife now and join Joe Ferguson. Joe, are you there?
Of course I'm here, Robin. Hello, Pauline.
So we're going to get serious for a bit, Joe. What's life in Tenerife like at the minute? I would imagine like the rest of the world, the hospitality industry, the entertainment industry has been hit really hard.
Well, last time I was talking to you was April, and that's when we had the full lockdown. Everybody, you weren't allowed in. You were allowed in, obviously. You weren't allowed to go outside. You could go to the shops, or you could go to the pharmacy or what. There was no pubs, no clubs, no restaurants or anything open, and it was hard. It was really hard. But personally, I think we did it extremely well because the numbers and the cases and the deaths have went well below the curve, and we're still doing exceptionally well at this moment in time. Then, of course, they opened the air corridors again. Then Boris Johnson, regardless of what you think of him politically, he decided to close those air corridors, and so Boris decided to put all the Canary Islands in with Spain. And you in Belfast, you're nearer to Spain than we are to Spain. We're off the coast of Africa, for crying out loud. So nobody could understand that. Everything was starting to get back together again. A lot of people were flying in, and then that happened. Numbers of tourists went down, and to be completely honest, it's been horrific. It has just been horrific to see places like Las Cristianas. And I mean, I'm telling you, you've seen these places whenever it's busy. You come over here. You used to live here. Ghost town is definitely an understatement. It's depressing. It's hard. Bars are trying their hardest to stay open. Restaurants, I honestly do not hold out much hope for quite a few of this now that England has gone into a second lockdown, albeit late, and we're glad that there is a lockdown because obviously something has to be done. But still, it's not going to do anything for the industry over here.
So at the moment, people from Northern Ireland can fly to Tenerife, and I know for people wanting to get that little bit of winter sun, there are some bargains available at the moment. But what can we expect when we arrive in Tenerife? I know before we leave, you have to do the COVID test, don't you?
Yeah, well, what you're going to have to do is it's going to be signed through Parliament. There's one decree through the Spanish Parliament. There's a second decree where you will have to have a test done 72 hours before you actually fly in. So you're going to have proof. And still, when I'm looking on Facebook, people are going, well, I don't want to do that. Why should I? You have to do it. The world has changed beyond recognition from 12 to even 10 months ago. So please do it. Then what will happen, Say, for instance, you and Pauline were here. Pauline, God forbid, you picked up the virus. The Spanish government will then pay for your medical costs, will pay for your accommodation costs to make sure that you're looked after. So you don't have to. Everybody's worrying about insurance and what. Yes, getting insurance is a good thing, but you will be looked after by the Spanish government. So there's no bother about that. But what you will expect is a warm welcome from everybody.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was going to ask. Normally, when we go out to Tenerife, obviously the place is normally buzzing. What's it going to be like, you know, in the restaurants, the bars, just even walking along the sidewalk?
Well, again, depending on how, I mean, the numbers are well done. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. People are, can I say asses? People are down on their asses over here. I'm sure you saw my Facebook page on Friday. As soon as we found out, Saturday, as soon as we found out there was going to be the English lockdown, it just broke everybody's hearts. So I decided to put on Facebook, look, this is what's been happening to not just me, but to everybody. And we're trying our hardest to get on with it. And yes, you will see empty restaurants, you will see closed bars. But what we want is people to just come over and enjoy the sunshine and see the smile on their face. As a matter of fact, do you want me to show you inside the bar?
Yes, please do.
There you go. Put the mandatory mask on.
Joe, for people who know Tenerife, just explain to us whereabouts on the island you are at the moment.
This is in Costa Adeque. We're at the place to be. So we'll turn around here. Can you see that all right?
Yes, we can see that.
Hello, everybody. Hello. You're on the telly. Say hiya. There you go. See? Nice people. So this is the place to be. That's Mike. Hello, Mike. That's the gorgeous Lucy. By the way, Mike is 50 and he's still got his own hair. What's that all about? I'm only 35. So yeah, place to be, right? So there you can see. I don't know if you can pick that up.
No mask, no entry.
Yeah. Have you ever had to throw anybody out? Have you ever had to throw anybody out but not wearing a mask?
No, never. Just reminding people.
Everybody's been reminded. Yeah. And then, of course, there you go. There's our guinea pig. He's going to sanitize.
Basically, we've got good customers that actually do so.
They've got lovely customers. Yeah. There's the hand sanitizer, and everybody's outside. I'll take you like this end as well.
So, Joe, what's the weather like out there today?
It is beautiful. There's one of those Kalimas. So it's going to be like 35, 37 degrees.
Wow.
Wow.
It's just under the Santa Maria. Sorry if I'm turning around too quick. I'm better on the telly than actually producing it. I don't want to walk down too far because obviously I don't want to be cut off with the Wi-Fi. But yeah, all we want to do is just to show people that yes, we're open. You've seen Mike and Lucy in there. Everybody's loving it. Everybody just wants to have a holiday. Everybody wants to make sure they're sorted out. I mean, I'll show you. Look. Could you get better smiles than that? But yeah, look, all range of beers, only €2 pint. Am I right? €2 pint. And he already gave me a free one. God bless him. They've been extremely hospitable. But one thing though, masks are mandatory, right? I don't know what it's like back home or what. You know, obviously people have got some kind of conspiracy theory against it. Just wear a mask. Over here, if you don't wear a mask, you're fined. You are fined. There's no questions asked. Even if it's in your back pocket, if you do not have that mask on, you will be fined. So make sure that when you're out in the street, when you're at a restaurant, you can sit at the table without your mask. A lot of people think, well, I have to, even taking a drink in a pub, you know, you have to take your mask off to take a drink. It's not like that. You can take the mask off. It's not sip, then mask on, sip, then mask on. It's not like that at all. Everything is fine. But you'll love it when you get over because everybody's happy.
Well, Joe, it looks like you're having a great day.
Well, I was until I started talking to you two. I'm joking. No, look, in all seriousness, please don't. If I've got loads of people who watch your show here on my Facebook. If you've got any problems at all or any questions, just contact me and I'll tell you, because there's a lot of rumours going about. We're open. We want to welcome everybody. We've got live entertainment down here. As you know, the beer is exceedingly cheap. And you can't buy the smiles and the happiness of people when they're over here. And as a matter of fact, everybody who's come over, even during the times of when they went back to the UK, they had to do the 14-day quarantine. People over here didn't mind because they were having such a good time. And look at it this way, if you're going, obviously you can't go from England, but Irish, North, South, Welsh, Scottish, just come over, have a laugh, and just enjoy yourselves. I think we all deserve it. The industry deserves it, you deserve it, the public definitely deserve it, because this has been the worst year that I've had bad years. This has been the worst year I have ever encountered in my entire life. But basically, get yourselves over here. I'm looking forward to seeing you too. You'll get a massive hug, both of you. I'll probably have tears in my eyes when I talk to you.
So Joel, we look forward to seeing you at the beginning of December. In the meantime, stay safe, and thanks for doing this.
Thanks,
see you soon.
Joe.
Thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe, and hello to everybody as well. Bye-bye.
Now let's have a look at some entertainment news.
And we'll take a look at something that you can currently watch on the Sky Cinema channel, and as well as that with the Sky Cinema Pass on Now TV. It's a new movie called The Secret Garden. It's a Sky original that tells the story of Mary Lennox, a 10-year-old girl sent to live with her uncle Archibald Craven, played by Colin Firth, under the watchful eye of Mrs. Medlock, played by Julie Walters, with only the household maid Martha for company. The film is set in the 1940s at Misselthwaite Manor, a remote country estate deep in the Yorkshire moors. And here's a clip from The Secret Garden.
Shall I tell you a story? It's the story of an orphan girl who was sent to live in a mysterious house.
Don't expect luxury. Misselthwaite is not the place it was.
And what if I were to tell you she discovered something magical? Something secret.
Friends.
Friends.
Follow me!
I knew you were hiding something.
This garden, it's capable of extraordinary things. Now will you believe in the magic?
So The Secret Garden currently streaming on the Sky Cinema channel and also on Now TV with the Sky Cinema Pass as well.
You know, The Secret Garden actually is a musical as well.
I didn't know that.
It's a really good musical too. You should have a look at that.
Okay, well in the meantime we'll check out the new movie.
Definitely.
Okay, finally for now, and we're going to remember the late great Bap Kennedy now. It's hard to believe it's 4 years since Bap passed away, and this week the Northern Ireland Music Prize is taking place in Belfast, and the Legend Award this year, the Oh Yeah Music Centre Legend Award, goes to the late great Bap Kennedy. And throughout the whole month of November on the radio, I know I'm going to be remembering Bap and some of his great music as well, and you can check out his entire back catalogue on the website bapkennedy.com. and I know if you download some of the songs, £1 from each song will go towards Marie Curie cancer. So let's delve deep into the archives now, and a great live performance from Bap, taking us back to the year 2006. Yes, I've been doing the show that long.
You have.
Indeed, so here is the late great Bap Kennedy.
Leave behind your worries, really very small. Come with me, set sail with me on the mighty ocean of alcohol. Sail around insanity, overdose, demons call. Once or twice I have been capsized on the mighty ocean. Alcohol on the mighty ocean. Alcohol. I lost my darling brother. I watched him slowly fall. As he hit the spray, he was swept away on the mighty ocean. Alcohol on the mighty ocean. Alcohol. So leave behind your worries, really very small. Come with me, set sail with me on the mighty ocean. Alcohol on the mighty ocean. Alcohol.
And just to finish the show this evening, I'm going to delve into the archives once again, and an interview that I recorded a couple of years back with Bap's wife Brenda, recalling some of her memories of living with the music legend. Have a look at this.
So Brenda, I just wanted to ask you, how did you and Bap meet?
We met, there's a few versions of this, but the real version is we met when I was giving a talk about Asperger's syndrome in Glengall Street in Belfast, and he turned up as listening to the talk, and at the end of the talk the girl that was giving the talk came and said to me, would you like to meet Bap Kennedy? And I actually didn't know him. And she said, I think he'll be able to help you. It was a sort of interesting, you know, prophetic thing, probably for both of us. We helped each other. And he, at the time, my son, who has Asperger's syndrome, was trying to get into playing the guitar, but it was very hard to get, you know, the right teacher or the right help for him. And she said that he's really good with kids with Asperger's syndrome. That's my introduction to him. At the time, he was going through a bit of a difficult time in his life. He had actually stepped away from music. Mm-hmm. And he was going through this whole thing on his own journey. I knew nothing of this at the time, but what he was doing really was to help. He was doing this, helping other kids, helping kids with Asperger's syndrome and autism. He was just encouraging them with music because he always greatly believed in the healing power of music, and he was really good at it. I mean, I was also working in the NAS, National Autistic Society, at the time, so we ended up kind of being a bit of a team working together on Asperger's syndrome. Originally, just we were working together on that. And then he was helping my son. It became a friendship. Then he discovered that I loved music, you know, although he didn't actually, it was a bit taboo. He did not want to talk about his own music at the time because of his own thing. Yeah. And he discovered that I had loved music when I was younger and had sort of given it up because of various reasons. He was like, you're telling all these other people about that and you're not doing it yourself. And then he asked me about, I said I used to enjoy writing songs, and he said, well, for next week I want you to, you know, when he was sort of taking this role. And then I kind of thought, well, I can't. And then he liked my songs. Yeah. He said, I want to record those. We went into Rod's, which is where we kind of got together with Rod. And we did my album, you know, you probably remember that way back in the day. We did all that. And at the end of the album, that was going to be it. And he was like, well, do you want to come and sing some, do some backing vocals for me? Do you want to, you know? And we ended up, it just was obvious where it was heading, you know? So it was a bit of a journey.
Oh, yeah, know? But it was a great journey, and you and him were so close.
We were close. Everybody said they never, not everybody, but an awful lot of people said they never saw one without the other.
Exactly.
And it was from the very start. It really was. Even at the very start, it was like, you know, even though at the very start we weren't together, it was constantly emailing, constantly texting, you know, communicating. And then once we got together, I remember there's a girl in Hollywood, we used to love going for coffees and stuff like that, where we're great. Neither of us drank because of, you know, Bap's issues with drink, and I gave up drink too then, you know, so we were both the same. But we did love going in for the coffees and all that. And I remember there's a girl in Hollywood after he died, and she came over and she said to me, I have never actually seen one of you without the other before. And I thought that really sums it up, because they just saw us. We were always you know, he used to say we're joined at the hip, you know.
One of my greatest memories will always be Christmas Eve 2009.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing the evening radio show into Christmas Day, and yourself and Bap came in, performed live in the studio, did Moonlight Kiss live. And then
I can't remember the
and then did a
details
lovely version of Silent Night. As we came up to midnight into Christmas. Really, really good memories.
I remember going in, you know, I remember it was lovely, you know, and I know that Bap was very fond of you as well, you know, so it was lovely.
It was always good to have him on the TV or on the radio show.
You worries really very small. Come with me, set sail with me on the mighty ocean, alcohol. On the mighty ocean, alcohol.
And that's all we've got time for on the big show this week. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.